Her nonprofit has designed specialized hospital gowns for a university. She believes the gowns can offer kids some normalcy while still being fit for a hospital setting.
They've got plastic snaps at the seams to allow for IVs, cast tubes. I can kind of demonstrate a little bit, but if you can see these openings all the way down.
The nonprofit is giving Stead Family Children's Hospital 525 gowns throughout the football season. For Hancock, the mission is personal.
I was born with a congenital heart defect called HLHS, which in layman's terms means half a heart. And one thing that I remembered from my hospital stays is that I did not like wearing the hospital gown at all. It was cold and bulky, and it just honestly made me feel even more like this sick kid.
She created her nonprofit in 2021, offering her hospital gowns in superhero and princess designs. She's based in Texas, but says she's heard from parents across the country about how much the gowns mean to their kids.
This opportunity really allows patients to just feel part of something that is normal and special, and allows them to not focus on the challenges that they're dealing with, even if it's just for a minute.
And Iowa's first home game of the season is this Saturday. It's one of my favorite traditions in sport. And again, if you missed how that works, the Children's Hospital overlooks the stadium. So everybody in the stadium turns at one point, I think it's between the third and fourth period, and they wave at the kids. It's just very cool.
That's excellent.
Yes.
Wow.
Anything for those kids. Just your heart goes out to them.
Definitely.
Quick look outside. I'm going to get you ready for a transitional Tuesday that's coming up.
Plus, accusations of racist vandalism impacting a local city council candidate, how the community is rallying behind him. And the next chapter unfolds today for the Richland School Board as efforts get underway to replace one recalled official. Good Morning Northwest continues right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
I'm Jason Valentine. It's just after 6 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. And if you're sick of the heat, we have good news for you. If you love the heat, maybe not so good news for you. But big changes coming today, Riley. Good morning, Riley.
Good morning. I think I may have seen the littlest bit of electricity in the air on my way in this morning.
Nice. And again, we have just little bits and pieces. A really strong system going to the east of Connell is a very small cell, but it's packed with electricity. Let's take a look outside. And folks, we could see just a hint of shower activity this morning and a better chance later on today. And it should be thunder and lightning involved. You can see what I was talking about just to the east of Connell. Look at this light show going on. Now, this is very odd. We're seeing all these storm systems form above the mid-Columbia and then start to expand as it gets into Moses Lake area. Right now, our regions aren't seeing any of the precipitation besides Connell, not seeing any of the thunder and lightning, but definitely the possibility of it this morning as we move along in our morning hours, and off and on showers as well. Could even see a little bit of hail. It won't be very consistent. It will be little bits and pieces at times. Also, windy conditions today, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds for most of our cities. Northeastern Oregon and Ellensburg, you're going to see 25 to 35 mile per hour sustained winds. Much cooler today. We're about 20 to 15 degrees off of yesterday. Blustery conditions, scattered storms, all that in my forecast. That's coming up, but right now, let's send it back to Riley.
Thank you so much, Jason. The Benton County Sheriff's Office is searching for a female suspect who reportedly held scissor blades up to the neck of a CPS worker while the worker was driving. The juvenile was being transported from Walla Walla to a foster home in Benton County when the incident occurred. According to the Sheriff's Office, the juvenile directed the CPS worker to keep driving and then stop in a remote area in Benton County north of Prosser. The car slid into a ditch and the juvenile reportedly ran out and got into another unknown vehicle. According to the Sheriff's Office, deputies are working on several leads to locate the suspect. Councilman Irving Brown Sr., who is running for re-election for the city of Pasco, says he went out to check his campaign signs over the weekend and found at least one to be vandalized. Not only that, it had a derogatory and racist word written on it, Apple Valley News Now reached out to Councilman Brown and the local Teamsters Union, and they say racism has no place in Pasco.
Pasco City Councilman Irving Brown Sr. says serving on the City Council the past 2 years has been rewarding, but it hasn't come easy.
He faced some backlash from some of the people in the community because it was supposedly a Latino seat and they shouldn't have given it to an African American man. So we had to deal with that up front.
While checking out his campaign signs over the weekend, Councilman Brown said he found one on Road 68 that had not only been vandalized, it was defaced with a racist name.
I just looked at it and I put it in a little tool bag after fixing the sign that was terribly damaged. I went home and I just processed. I tried to process how to articulate this without anger or retaliation.
Councilman Brown says this isn't the first time he's faced this in the community of Pasco. 2 years ago, when he was set to take over the seat, he found out someone didn't want him on the council. Not because he wasn't qualified, he says, it was the color of his skin.
There was an anonymous letter sent to disregard me from being a city council member. It was. And I'm going to talk about everything. This was sent, but it was my choice. It was sent to the city, and it was brought up to my attention that this letter was received by the city of Pasco, and they were so gracious and asked, how would I like to handle this?
The Secretary-Treasurer of Teamsters Local Number 839 told us when he learned what had happened to Councilman Brown, he wanted to send a message to the community. Racism doesn't belong in the city of Pasco.
So I figured all of our allies should come together and support him in this because nobody should be subjected to that ever, but especially in 2023. It's just ridiculous and it's unheard of and it's horrible.
Councilman Brown tells Apple Valley News Now this only gives him fuel to keep moving forward in his dedication to the betterment of the community. Later today, ESD 123 will interview 3 candidates to help fill a vacancy on the Richland School Board. Semi Bird, Carrie Williams, and Audra Bird were all recalled in the August primary, leaving the Richland School Board with just 2 of 5 positions filled. The Educational Service District will select 1 replacement who will be sworn in on Thursday, and then the 3 board members will be able to appoint 2 temporary positions. The candidates being interviewed are Robert Butner, Jeffrey Estes, and Lindsay Leitner. The meeting is set for this afternoon at 4:30, and it's open to the public, and you can also stream the meeting on Zoom. The Pasco School District hosted an all-staff expo and rally yesterday morning to kick off the 2023 to 2024 school year. Each school in the Pasco School District was represented. At this event, staff and teachers were getting ready to welcome their students back to school. Superintendent Michelle Whitney spoke about her own experience going through the education system while going through complex circumstances at home.
And when you come from that kind of circumstance, you have to learn about the world from people outside your family system. And when I think about it, it was really the grandest gesture, the gift of people who start out as strangers taking the time to deeply invest in me.
Keynote speaker Steve Pemberton spoke about the lighthouse effect and how to be a human lighthouse to inspire those around you. He told teachers and staff in attendance, no one forgets the first person to recognize their accomplishments. For some, that person may be a parent or grandparent, but for so many, it's their teachers. The U.S. Marshals Pacific Northwest Violent Offenders Task Force arrested 26 offenders in eastern Washington in a 2-week warrant sweep called Operation Centennial Trail that finished up on Friday. They received help from more than a dozen agencies, including the Benton County Sheriff's Office, the Yakima County Sheriff's Office. The operation targeted violent fugitives and repeat offenders with warrants for crimes like assault, burglary, child molestation, robbery, vehicular homicide, and sex offenses. The goal was to get offenders at risk of committing further crimes off the streets before they could hurt anyone else. Jason Valentine returns now with a look at your morning weather forecast.
Folks, we have some cloud coverage today. We could even see a shower or two this morning, better chance in the afternoon. Much cooler conditions, windy conditions, a lot to talk about. That's coming up in my first alert weather forecast.
Plus, an important lifeline has been put in place by a local healthcare provider for those suffering a mental health emergency. That's coming up.
David, did you remember to get me an anniversary present?
Anniversary? Of course! It's Mattress Depot USA's anniversary sale.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
What you doing out there?
Taking the scenic route. I know this looks like a summer blockbuster, but this is a Nissan sales event tag. With 5 drive modes, this Nissan Rogue gives the performance of a lifetime. Now comes the real star of the show.
Now get a low $419 per month lease or get 0% APR financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
Better hurry. These offers won't get a sequel.
You're being honored for all of your many volunteer hours. Dan and Doug Hester have earned Catholic Charities Volunteer Services Program a $1,000 donation from STCU.
Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
Hi, Jason Valentine for the Apple Valley News Now Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered American flag to All City Transmission on September 8th, and in exchange, we'll give you a brand new flag as we celebrate America together.
At All City Transmission, we stand as proud Americans, cherishing our nation's symbol of unity, the Great American Flag.
Honest work, quality price. All City Transmission.
So, Richardson family, the neighbors are very curious about your new family member.
Oh, Robe Elizabeth?
Hello.
We built her when our daughter moved out so we could keep our family plan and save money.
With US Cellular, you don't need a 4th line to get the best deal. It's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh. I guess we don't need a 4th line anymore.
This is awkward.
Now at US Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line. US Cellular, built for us.
Next Live, Christian Siriano plus Back to School Week continues.
Even though summer's not over yet, let's face it, nothing lasts forever. Isn't that right, kids?
Yeah.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Let a Mattress Depot USA sleep specialist put you on the mattress that matches your sleeping habits.
Stop by today. You'll sleep better tonight.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier.
Welcome back on this Tuesday morning. Well, we've been talking for years about the need for more mental health care all over the country, but especially here in Washington. A lot of the focus so far has been on helping people in crisis. But what if you could stop the situation from getting to crisis in the first place? Apple Valley News Now's Emily Goodell reports Comprehensive Medical and Health Care is working to make sure people can get help on the same day that they ask for it.
People used to have to wait up to 3 months just to get an initial mental health assessment at Comprehensive Health Care, and more than half the people never showed up. Some discouraged by the long wait, or
sometimes by the time that they had their appointment, they either could have sought another facility, or maybe they forgot about their appointments, whether that we still have different reminder systems or confirmation systems, and that still was not proving to be very helpful for some clients.
But now they've stopped scheduling appointments and switched to a walk-in clinic model, and there is no more waiting period for mental health intakes.
Any of our campuses are able to utilize same-day access. So we've got our Kittitas campus, Walla Walla, Pasco, Lower Valley, which is our Sunnyside campus, and then Yakima as well.
And anyone who walks in during clinic hours from 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday can get help right away.
It definitely takes a lot of manpower on the back end to plan and coordinate. I do think it can be replicable.
Because they're just pooling the resources they already had and making them available regardless of location. Now, if someone in Pasco needs help, but the intake specialist there is busy,
they're able to use telehealth services to get a intake specialist that's either in Walla Walla or in Yakima.
So no one has to wait to take the first step toward getting the help that they need. In Yakima, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
And right now, the same-day access is for mental health intake only, but comprehensive officials say it could be expanded in the future for substance abuse disorder intakes and other programs. Coming up, tropical storm Idalia, growing in intensity putting some 14 million Floridians under hurricane and tropical storm warnings along the Gulf of Mexico. And I'll return with your first alert weather forecast. Get you ready for a transitional Tuesday. A lot of changes today. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
GMA This Week. We hope you're hungry, because all week GMA's on the search for the best tacos in America.
Will we be at your favorite taco spot?
This is going to be so tasty. It's the United States of Tacos, this week on GMA.
The Labor Day mattress savings are kicking off this week at Walker's Furniture. And this year, Walker's is offering some of the biggest discounts they've ever offered on America's favorite brands like Serta and Beautyrest mattresses. Plus, 5 years no-interest financing was brought in with no money down and no minimum purchase needed. So you can start sleeping better and pay for it later with no money down, making it the perfect time to improve your sleep for less. On now this week at Walker's.
We wondered, where do people do their banking? So we asked.
I bank at Hapo.
Hapo's my bank. I've been a member of Hapo since I was 10 years old, 60 years.
I bank at Hapo Community Credit Union.
I'm with Hapo.
You're not just a number there. You're treated really well.
I feel like they're part of my community.
It's easy, it's convenient, and I don't know, I just love the people there.
I guess the question we should be asking is, where do you credit union? Join Hapo Community Credit Union today.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different Briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
Apple Valley News Now welcomes professional bull riding to the Toyota Center September 8th and 9th. Enter to win a family 4-pack of tickets on the contest page at applevalleyNewsNow.com, and you could be on your way to the PBR Tri-Cities Classic.
This is my heaven.
A flight over one of America's great rivers.
Snake River has a lot to offer.
And into Hell's Canyon.
It's a half a mile deeper than the Grand Canyon.
Fly the Northwest.
It's just a gorgeous place to be.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Next extra, Howie versus Sandoval take 2. After he got heat over his Tom Sandoval interview, what he's saying now about Raquel.
I'm gonna get killed for saying this.
Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now. The best way to end your day.
That is good TV.
Friends, tonight at 11:05.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Folks, we're seeing quite a bit of cloud coverage coming into our areas. We do have the opportunity of seeing a little bit of stormy conditions. Now, much of the stormy conditions are forming above the mid-Columbia, moving up north and really expanding just in the Moses Lake area. We have a couple of cells causing a little bit of electricity just to the east of Connell just about an hour ago. We do have a chance of seeing more of that coming through our areas, especially as we get into our afternoon hours. So just little bits and pieces of shower activity moving through. That'll be pretty much done by our early evening hours. A little bit of partly cloudy skies tomorrow, but as we get to our Thursday morning hours, more shower activity. We expect to see a little bit of shower activity possible on our Friday, so a little bit of shower activity for our week ahead. Wind advisory, we have 25 to 35 mile per hour winds expected, gusts up to 55 for Ellensburg area, Kittitas County, in northeastern Oregon, Hermiston, Pendleton. That's from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. today. Our other areas, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, so get ready for a blustery, my goodness, Tuesday. Big changes for more or less light winds yesterday. Already 28 mile per hour in Toppenish, 23 in Ellensburg. So blustery and warm for your morning. Also, we expect winds to remain pretty consistent into tomorrow. We'll see a bit less for Ellensburg and northeastern Oregon, but still blustery conditions throughout, and that will slow down on Thursday as we cool down. All of our areas are in the moderate air quality zone right now, still considered healthy, but good news with all of this wind, it is from the southwest, and as we move along in our day, it is going to push that smoke to the east, and we're going to see much nicer conditions and much less haze. Oddly enough, though, with the haze gone, or at least lessened. We'll be seeing much more cloud coverage. So right now we are in the mid 60s for some of our areas, a little cooler in Pendleton, lower 70s also in there. And again, warm this morning. We do expect to see, though, much cooler temperatures today. We're about 15 or so degrees to up to 20 degrees off of what we saw yesterday, and even cooler by the time we get to Thursday. That is close to 30 degrees cooler than we saw yesterday by Thursday. And then a little bit of a recovery into our weekend, but a very chilly, at least average-wise, Labor Day weekend is ahead. Temperatures today, 81 for Yakima, 74 for Ellensburg. Lower 80s to upper 70s for the Mid-Columbia, and pretty much the mid-70s for the Blue Mountain region. 7-day forecast, Yakima all the way down to 71 on Thursday. Good chance of shower activity returning Thursday, Friday. Nice weekend ahead, so it's going to be chilly, especially considering it's Labor Day weekend. Showers as well Thursday and Friday for the Tri-Cities. Partly cloudy skies pretty much for the week ahead. Now today, occasional thunder showers are possible. Could even see a little bit of hail. We are going to see a little bit more cloud coverage today as well. So get ready for a cooler, windy, and possibly thunderstormy, if that's a word, Tuesday is ahead. And again, these cooler temperatures will be sticking with us.
And now hurricane warnings issued for parts of Florida's west coast, bracing for Idalia. The storm is expected to grow into a Category 3 hurricane. Winds could top 115 miles per hour with life-threatening storm surge and possible tornadoes. Up to a foot of rain could fall in isolated areas. And last night, the National Hurricane Center moved the track slightly west, raising concern for Tallahassee. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
This morning, Idalia is intensifying as it barrels towards Florida's west coast, set to become a major hurricane with mandatory evacuations ordered along the coast in at least 8 counties. Students at Eckerd College in St. Petersburg told to evacuate and to prepare their dorms for flooding from 6 to 9 inches of rain.
We had a dorm meeting and they said everybody out by 5 today, so it was scrambling to just get everything off the floor.
The storm already battering Cuba with flooding rains and winds up to 70 miles per hour. And now Florida's so-called Big Bend, a region north of the Tampa area and south of Tallahassee, is bracing for what's being described as life-threatening storm surge.
Those warm waters, that's the fuel. We expect rapid intensification to a Cat 1, a Cat 2, a Cat 3 by Wednesday morning. That's when landfall will occur. Rain, wind, and storm surge are big issues, especially here in this part of the Gulf, up to 12 feet of it.
The worst of the storm surge expected tonight into tomorrow morning. While the storm is projected to hit the more sparsely populated Big Bend area, experts warn it could shift at any point. Just like Hurricane Ian did last year when it shifted south, devastating the Fort Myers area and killing 149 people in the state. Being caught by surprise could be devastating for homeowners who may be without insurance this year. More than a dozen insurance companies have stopped writing home insurance policies in the state, blaming the rising cost and higher flood risks due to climate change. Farmers Insurance announcing just yesterday that it's cutting more than 2,400 jobs, 11% of its workforce, after ending home insurance coverage in Florida last month. The average policy in Florida now costs roughly $6,000. That's up 42% from last year. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
In the state of Washington, a revered custom for the people of Jamestown's Klallam tribe, weaving bark from western red cedars. But this activity comes with a reminder of the impact climate change is having on the tribe. Climate camps have become the latest refuge for dozens of Native nations to share knowledge while building a tight-knit community. They lean on each other as they suffer some of the most severe impacts of climate change in the U.S., but often have some of the fewest resources to respond. These camps have taken place 6 times since 2016 at different sites across the U.S. and included people from over 70 tribes. This one featured lessons taught by tribal leaders and scientists, field trips, and cultural practices, including cedar weaving, to unwind from the harsh realities of climate change. And when we return on Good Morning Northwest, in the latest speech from Chairman Jerome Powell, the Fed appears open to raising interest rates again. But what does that mean for borrowers?
I remember when you get a whole meal for $5.
Yeah, it was last Tuesday.
Oh.
And every Tuesday at A&W, where single Papa Burger combos complete with fries and a root beer cost just $5. The good old days are here again. A complete meal for just $5. Tuesdays only at A&W.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Hurry in and save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, plus get an extra $50 off with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
Craving an action-packed stack of game-changing, meaty, cheesy sauciness? Taco Time's Taco Cheeseburger. You're welcome. When you know what you want, anytime it's taco time.
Lad Days are here. Our annual fall sales event is the best time to get discounts on Lad irrigation services and products. You'll find great deals on parts, pivots, projects, repairs, and more. From August 28th through September 1st, stop by any Lad irrigation location to take advantage of these once-in-a-year prices. Prizes and snacks, too. This is simply our way of saying thank you to our customers. Learn more at ladirrigation.com.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Monday, major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Hapo Center Pasco. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Hapo Center Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book, arriving in members' mailboxes this week. There's 16 pages of great store-wide savings, including everything you need for Labor Day. At Bi-Mart, our members save more every day.
KFC's Wednesday Country Fried Steak Meal is a delicious value, complete with mashed potatoes with gravy, coleslaw, and a biscuit, all for the incredible price of just $5.99. Really, what's left to say? How about see you again next Wednesday? Country Fried Steak Meal just $5.99, only at KFC.
This newscast sponsored by Dairy Queen.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, all eyes are on Wall Street this week following a much-anticipated speech by Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, who's hinting he's willing to hike interest rates yet again. So what does that mean for borrowers? Jen Sullivan has a closer look.
A Goldilocks speech from the Fed, making Wall Street and consumers a little nervous. On Friday at an economic summit in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said more rate hikes are still on the table.
We are attentive to signs that the economy may not be cooling as expected.
A hike in interest rates means higher borrowing costs for consumers with credit cards, home, car, and personal loans. This comes as mortgage rates are already sitting at a 22-year high. Experts say if you're looking to make a major purchase like a home or a car, either delay it or brace for higher costs. And expect stricter requirements when it comes to applying for a loan.
Bank lending standards have tightened and loan growth has slowed sharply.
The Fed's forecast follows several batches of data showing inflation is cooling, but the Fed isn't ruling out more aggressive action to bring down the pace of price increases.
2 months of good data are only the beginning of what it will take to build confidence that inflation is moving down sustainably toward our goal.
Powell says the Fed's target inflation rate is still 2%. As it aims to slow the increases in prices and cool down the overheated economy. But one prominent economist says the U.S. economy is stable and says the Fed can stop raising interest rates.
People are betting that the economy is pretty resilient, and if it starts to show signs that it isn't, expect those rates to come down.
This week, as investors soak in the Fed's message, there's concern it could send stocks plunging amid concerns continued rate hikes could tip the economy. I'm Jen Sullivan.
And the next Fed meeting is scheduled for next month with an announcement on potential interest rate hikes expected to follow. Coming up, the date has been set for former President Donald Trump's trial for alleged interference in the 2020 election. That's next, and I'll get you ready for your Tuesday and my first alert weather forecast next on Good Morning Northwest.
You're being honored for all of your many volunteer hours building ramps.
Because of their volunteer work, Dan and Doug Hester have earned Catholic Charities Volunteer Services Program a $1,000 donation from STCU.
Our labor is all volunteer, and Catholic Charities provides the material.
We just enjoy helping.
Their craftsmanship is amazing.
STCU's Volunteers Count honors volunteers in our communities. Please tell us a story of someone you believe is making an impact.
Get ready for fun in paradise during the PRCA Rodeo at the Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days. You get 3 action-packed nights during the 5-day fair to see the best cowboys and cowgirls in rodeo. Pick up tickets today to get in on the action. Your invitation to have fun in paradise is waiting at the Walla Walla Fair and Frontier Days, August 30th to September 3rd at the fairgrounds in Walla Walla.
Give yourself that new car feeling with a detail from ProClean Auto Detail Systems. Details start at just $125 and we'll make your car look and feel like new. Gift certificates are available. Forget the rest and come to the best. ProClean Auto Detail Systems.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's The Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different Briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's The Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's The Educated Cigar in Richland.
Our customers depend on us for everything. We grow well over 200 different crop varieties, and there's tremendous diversity within our trade territory. We spend a lot of time and work a lot with our customers on enhancing and utilization of the products that John Deere offers. From a technology perspective, we do what we say every single day.
Whether you're working hard or hardly working, it's time to get a better night's sleep. And during the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress, the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. And get up to $900 off adjustable purple mattress sets. Or check out the Summit, now only $299.99. Save up to $700 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets and score a $300 gift. Plus 6 years no interest and free shipping. But hurry, the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress ends Monday.
E.T.'s headed to Greece with the stars of My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3.
The whole family's coming.
Our exclusive behind the scenes next E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now. Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Federal Judge Tanya Chutkan has set a date for former President Trump's trial investigating his alleged attempts to interfere in the 2020 election. And a congressman from Florida has introduced a resolution to impeach Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin over U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan 2 years ago.
And folks, much cooler temperatures take grip today with blustery and possibly wet conditions mixed in. I'll get you prepared with my first alert weather forecast.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Riley Fitzgerald.
And I'm Jason Valentine. And Riley, people, not this morning yet. It's a warm morning, but people are going to feel the cooler temperatures today. Are you happy about that or sad about that?
Anytime I come in to work, I'm always wearing a jacket, no matter what day it is. Even these 100-degree temperature highs days that we've been having, I always come into work with a jacket on. So I'm kind of glad that I'll actually kind of need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. And you're going to need it more and more as we move along. Well, let's take a look outside. And folks, we have a very nice morning, but much more cloud coverage. But that's kind of made it a beautiful morning. Riley and I were marveling at the clouds this morning, just gorgeous, kind of hitting that sun. And we do have a bit of shower activity in our vicinity, not yet really on top of us. We have Connell. We had quite a bit of thunder and lightning go through there about an hour ago. We have some small systems that are forming in the mid-Columbia, but moving up north to Moses Lake and kind of fully forming there. So we're not seeing any shower activity in our areas just yet, but we do expect to see, again, a chance of seeing a quick thunderstorm or two, especially as we move along in our morning. Could even see a little bit of hail. Highs today, we're about 15 to 20 degrees off of what we saw yesterday. So get ready for a chilly day with highs in the mid to upper 70s, lower 80s. So a lot to talk about. Much cooler today, blustery Tuesday, and scattered thunderstorms. That's coming up, but for right now, let's send it back to Riley.
Thank you so much, Jason. Now to the latest on former President Donald Trump's legal cases. Despite Trump's attorneys' requests for delays, a D.C. federal judge has set a 2024 trial date in the special counsel's election interference case. And in Georgia, a judge is ordering Trump and 18 other co-defendants to appear for arraignment next week on conspiracy and racketeering charges. ABC's Justin Finch is following developments in Washington.
This morning, a trial date set. Special counsel Jack Smith in the Washington, D.C. federal courtroom as Judge Tanya Chutkan scheduled March 4th, 2024 for Smith's 2020 election interference case against former President Donald Trump to begin. That date is just one day before Super Tuesday, when several states hold presidential primary elections. Trump's lawyers sought a more than 2-year delay to April 2026. Trump blasting the judge's decision, calling her a biased, Trump-hating judge on social media. Prosecutors pointing to Trump's behavior on a near-daily basis, including his social media, as grounds for a speedy trial, saying he has publicly disparaged witnesses, he has attacked the integrity of the courts, the citizens of the District of Columbia who make up our jury pool, and this potentially prejudices the jury pool. Judge Chutkan appearing to agree, saying there is a societal interest to a speedy trial. In Georgia, former Trump White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in Fulton County Court.
How are you feeling today, Mr. Meadows?
Meadows, who wants his case moved to federal court in hopes of finding a more sympathetic jury, testified for more than 3 hours.
No ruling yet in the Meadows case, potentially leaving him to appear along with Trump and 17 other co-defendants on the Georgia court-ordered arraignment date of September 6th. Republican House member Corey Mills of Florida has introduced a resolution to impeach Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin. He says Congress should remove Austin from his job over the way he handled the withdrawal of U.S. troops from Afghanistan 2 years ago. Mills says the Pentagon leader ignored key intelligence and pushed through a hasty withdrawal that had deadly consequences. 13 U.S. service members and dozens of Afghans died when 2 suicide bombers attacked a gate outside Kabul International Airport. The resolution introduced says Austin engaged in high crimes and misdemeanors for failing to properly plan for the withdrawal. It's unclear how much support the resolution will have in the Republican-controlled House. Jason Valentine returns now with a quick look at your morning weather forecast.
Folks, quite the beautiful morning this morning. A bit more cloud coverage than we're used to. Windy conditions, cooler conditions. Folks, a busy First Alert weather forecast is coming up. You don't want to miss it.
Plus, 2 giant pandas are heading back to China after calling the U.S. home for over 20 years. That's coming up.
Operation Best Friend on Good Morning Northwest, sponsored by Windermere Group 1.
Okay, who here has reached peak fall?
Peak what?
Peak fall!
I am wearing plaid.
And I'm wearing a cardigan.
I guess I am eating snickerdoodle cookie dough.
And I am eating a pumpkin pie blizzard.
The new DQ Fall Blizzard menu has reached peak fall. Pumpkin pie, snickerdoodle cookie dough, and more. They are back!
I just love fall. Apparently we all do.
Oh, they did it! Peak fall achieved! DQ, happy tastes good.
Why buy a mattress from Mattress Depot USA?
Low prices.
Every day, we beat any competitor's price.
Selection?
All sizes and brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic.
Customer service.
Our sleep specialists average 10 years in the industry. Check out our reviews.
Comfort guarantee?
120 nights worth.
Same-day delivery.
Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Local?
Born here, live here.
Come see us today.
Low prices every day. Mattress Depot USA.
So, Richardson family, the neighbors are very curious about your new family member.
Oh, Robe-Elizabeth?
Hello.
We built her when our daughter moved out so we could keep our family plan and save money.
With US Cellular, you don't need a fourth line to get the best deal. It's just $19.99 per line for 1, 2, or 3 lines.
Oh. I guess we don't need a fourth line anymore.
Awkward. Now at US Cellular, it's just $19.99 per line. US Cellular, built for us.
Queensgate Gardens thanks you all for the wonderful support that you've shown us throughout this incredible spring season. We are truly honored to have such amazing customers like you. Come on down for any last-minute summer planting and check out our amazing selection at our fruit stand.
He posts his thirst traps in a leather-bound album. Florida wants to retire and move to him. He's Gary.
And I'm your first Golden Bachelor.
When Fred's advertises it, we've got it. Fred's warehouses are loaded with inventory. When your fridge stops working, you need a new one and you need it now. Fred's has them in stock. The box stores never have this much inventory on hand. You can wait weeks for delivery. At Fred's, get your new appliance the next day. Fred's always has the guaranteed lowest price and shows you competitors' prices on our price tags. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
This is my heaven.
A flight over one of America's great rivers.
Snake River has a lot to offer.
And into Hell's Canyon.
It's a half a mile deeper than the Grand Canyon.
Fly the Northwest.
It's just a gorgeous place to be.
Apple Valley News Now at 6 tonight.
Saturday, the final year of the Huskies in the Pac-12 kicks off on ABC and Apple Valley News Now as Boise State takes on Washington live from Seattle. The Broncos battle the Huskies, Saturday starting at 12:30, only on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. 2 giant pandas who have called the U.S. home for more than 20 years are headed back to China. The pandas named Mei Zhang and Tian Tian, along with their cub, will leave the National Zoo in Washington.
They have been there since 2000 when an agreement between a Chinese conservation group and the zoo was signed. The group says that only about 2,000 pandas remain living in the wild. Visitors have until, well, this is enough time, December 7th to say their goodbyes. And I tell you what, my stress from the day, any anxiety I have just melts away when I look at a panda.
Incredible, incredible. And you know, I think pandas are the national animal of China, and so headed back home.
Headed back home.
Fantastic.
All right, we're glad to have had them. All right, folks, quick look outside. I got your first alert weather forecast coming up next.
And coming up, the amazing discovery made in Oregon that has researchers very excited. That's next on Good Morning Northwest.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich. With fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage, well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Craving an action-packed stack of game-changing, meaty, cheesy sauciness? Taco Time's Taco Cheeseburger. You're welcome. When you know what you want, anytime is taco time.
For over 600 different premium cigars, including every cigar rated 95 and higher in the last decade. It's the Educated Cigar. For 115 different fine pipe tobaccos and 55 different briarwood pipes from England, Germany, and Italy. It's the Educated Cigar. For 95 and higher rated wines and White Bluff IPAs, it's the Educated Cigar in Richland.
Where's the most mouth-watering pizza and best salad bar in town? Well, Hubby's Pizza, of course. And with the lunch special starting as low as $10.49 for a 2-topping Pee-wee pizza and a medium drink, why go anywhere else? Delicious, mouth-watering food with only the freshest ingredients. It's lunchtime and I'm going to Hubby's Pizza, a hometown favorite for nearly 45 years.
Be advised, this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save 40 to 80% on a hot tub and swim spa. Friday through Monday, major manufacturers and warehouses clearance of new 2023 inventory. Hapo Center Pasco. Over 100 hot tubs on display and everything must go. See the revolutionary swim spa. You can exercise, swim, and relax without the expense and maintenance of a pool. Hot tubs starting at $29.95. All inventory 40 to 80% off. 18-month interest-free financing. Trade-ins welcome. Free delivery. We'll even haul away your old hot tub. Hapo Center Pasco. Free admission. Free parking. Call 833-SPA-SALE.
Buy more, save more during the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Furniture Row. That's 4 amazing days to get $100 off every $1,000 you spend. With the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed, it's the perfect time to refresh your living room, dining room, bedroom, or fall into a new mattress. Check out special purchases and doorbusters while they last. Plus, 6 years, no interest financing. But hurry, the 4-day Super Labor Day sale at Furniture Row ends Monday.
Next Live, Christian Siriano plus Back to School Week continues.
Even though summer's not over yet, let's face it, nothing lasts forever. Isn't that right, kids?
Yeah. Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
I think they like each other.
I'm Charles. Lunch?
Vanessa. I like lunch.
Give in to deliciousness. Buy one craveable classic and get another one for $1. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Portions of Apple Valley News Now, sponsored by Lord's Health and Trios Health, making communities healthier. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Jason Valentine.
Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Hope you're enjoying your morning so far. Beautiful skies out there with the cloud coverage, a little extra cloud coverage. We've been seeing a lot of clear skies. So, folks, we have a lot going on today. We have possible showers. We have air quality improving with windy conditions and cooler temperatures. So let's start with possible precipitation. We've had quite a bit of thunder and lightning just to the east of Connell and just little bits of cells that are forming in the mid-Columbia, but moving up north and actually getting to fruition up north. Our areas, though, staying pretty much for lack of a better term, boring, but we do expect to see a little bit of shower activity rolling through as we get to our afternoon. Again, these cells will be quick and small, but they could pack a punch with some thunder and lightning and even some hail, so keep an eye out for that. As we move into our Wednesday, things will calm down a bit, at least precipitation-wise, but Thursday morning and Friday, we expect to see some off and on showers returning. So some showers a part of our next couple of days at least. So wind advisory throughout Ellensburg, Kittitas County area in northeastern Oregon. That's today, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 55 miles per hour. Now the good news, these winds are going to be coming in from the southwest, so that is going to help get rid of all of this smoke. I'll get to that in a bit. Current temperature, wind speeds 27 in Toppenish, 25 in Ellensburg, 22 in Prosser. Quite a few double digits in there as well. So a blustery day ahead. Our other areas will be around 10 to 20 mile per hour. That will continue into tomorrow, then slower winds as we cool down again significantly on Thursday. Air quality, we're in the moderate zone across the board. Still considered healthy air, but that is going to change as we move along in our day. The smoke will be pushed out by those southwest winds, and we're going to still see a little bit of smoke in our areas, but still it'll be much less than we've been seeing. So much less haze and much less, hopefully, air quality issues. Hopefully we get back to good across the board. A warm morning for you. We're mostly in the upper 60s, 71 for Yakima. So warm conditions. Should be a much cooler morning tomorrow and definitely a cooler day today. We are 20 to 15 degrees off of our highs yesterday into today, and then we cool down even more. Almost 30-degree drop from yesterday to Thursday. We get back to still below average temperatures, but a little bit warmer for your Labor Day weekend. But considering a pretty cool Labor Day weekend indeed. 81 Yakima, 74 for Ellensburg. So much cooler across the board, folks. Lower 80s for the Mid-Columbia, upper 70s as well, and mid-70s to upper 70s for the Blue Mountain region. 7-day forecast, so all the way to 71 by Thursday. Good chance of shower activity Thursday, Friday, and possibly this afternoon, and much cooler for your Labor Day, at least below average temperatures, but warmer than we're seeing right now, and for your week. Tri-Cities area down to 72 Thursday and rebounding to the lower mid-80s for Saturday and Sunday. So for today, blustery, cooler, and keep an eye out for scattered thunderstorms, which could have a little bit of hail in them. Settling down a bit tomorrow, still windy conditions tomorrow, and much cooler by the time we get to Thursday.
A major discovery in Oregon. A team of archaeologists at the University of Oregon has found one of North America's oldest human-occupied sites in the southern part of that state. Juliet Smith spoke with one of the professors to learn more.
Patrick O'Grady, along with other archaeologists and students at the University of Oregon, have discovered new evidence suggesting that Oregon could be the oldest site of human occupation in North America. We're talking 18,000 years ago, according to a new radiocarbon dating analysis. If that's true, it would be way earlier than archaeologists had previously thought, coming before the Clovis culture, once seen as the oldest. The team first began excavating Rimrock Draw rock shelter in Burns, Oregon in 2011.
Which means this is among the oldest artifacts in North America.
That orange agate tool was discovered in 2012. It was preserved under a layer of volcanic ash from Mount St. Helens eruption over 15,000 years ago. They also found the remains of 3 different Ice Age animals, which O'Grady says is very rare.
And in 2012, we found this tooth enamel with this stone tool underneath it. And so this is the one that tested positive for bison blood, but it was actually found buried underneath camel tooth enamel. We have dated camel tooth enamel. Tells a story about the association of extinct animals and people in Oregon 18,000 years ago.
He's saying the evidence shows camels or camelops actually roamed around Oregon thousands of years ago. The reason they disappeared from North America is still up for debate. Just last month, the team announced that this blood residue revealed animal proteins on one of the many tools found in the rock shelter. These tools were used for many purposes.
A sharp point would have been used and put at the top of this dart right here. It would then be launched towards an animal, which would then be eaten and used for hide.
And he launched that like a giant arrow.
While these stone spears are usually used with an atlatl or spear, the team has yet to uncover one at this specific site. O'Grady says the atlatl is the most successful and long-term hunting weapon used in North America. It turns out these people didn't occupy this area for long periods. It was more of a place that they passed through. Going back to the discovery of the orange stone,
this looks different because it's not from the area. We're not quite sure where this came from to arrive at this site.
It had been carried from a long distance, suggesting that it was an area people passed through. The team also would have expected to find more tools at the site had it been a more permanent home. The discovery is teaching us about more than just our past.
It tells us about how people respond to climate changes over time. And we're in one right now that we need all the help understanding that we can get.
If we can better understand how people solved climate change thousands of years ago, it may help us here in years to come.
O'Grady says archaeologists have a couple more years of work, including 1 more year of excavation, and they plan to preserve the site for future researchers. We'll be right back with the morning sprint and a final check on your forecast, but first a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, new video of that deadly helicopter crash in Florida, as we hear from family members of one of the victims.
My brother loved to travel and he loved golf. He loves his kids tremendously.
There were 3 crew members on board, 2 of them seen here miraculously emerging from the smoke. The 3rd fire rescue captain, Terryson Jackson, did not survive.
He was there for his friends, he was there for his family. He wanted to serve people, and he died serving people. He's a hero to me. He's my big brother.
The chopper crashing into this small apartment complex Monday morning, sparking a fire and leaving a gaping hole. A woman inside also killed.
It sounded like a bomb. An explosion went off.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll show you the damage the crash caused and the effects left on the families. With your GMA First Look, I'm Victor Oquendo, ABC News, Pompano Beach, Florida.
Type 2 diabetes?
Discover the Ozempic Trizone. In my Ozempic Trizone, I lowered my A1C, CV risk, and lost some weight.
In studies, the majority of people reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as stroke, heart attack, or death in adults also with known heart disease. And you may lose weight. Adults lost up to 14 pounds. Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Gallbladder problems may occur. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with the sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Join the millions already taking Ozempic. Ask your healthcare provider about the Ozempic Trizone.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:53. We're going to get to your first alert forecast in just a moment, but we begin with a look at this morning's top stories. Developing news in a Pasco City Council race. One candidate running for re-election says he's found hateful and racist remarks on his campaign signs. A coalition of unions led by Teamsters Local Union Number 839 held a rally yesterday to show their support for Irving Brown Sr. The rally took place at 5:30 last night in Pasco. Organizers tell us they wanted to show that racism does not have a place in Pasco. Later today, ESD 123 will interview 3 candidates to help fill a vacancy on the Richland School Board. The Educational Service District will select 1 replacement who will be sworn in on Thursday, and then the 3 board members will be able to appoint 2 temporary positions. The candidates being interviewed are Robert Butner, Jeffrey Estes, and Lindsay Leitner. The meeting is set for this afternoon at 4:30 and it's open to the public. You can also stream the meeting on Zoom. The Pasco School District hosted an all-staff expo and rally yesterday morning to kick off the 2023 to 2024 school year. At this event, staff and teachers were getting ready to welcome their students back to school. Keynote speaker Steve Pemberton spoke about the lighthouse effect and how to be a human lighthouse to inspire those around you. He told teachers and staff in attendance, no one forgets the first person to recognize their accomplishments, and for so many, it's their teachers. Fire crews are keeping a close eye on hot spots within the Gray Fire burning in Medical Lake near Spokane. The fire is now 85% contained. Flames have burned more than 10,000 acres and destroyed more than 240 homes since the fire first sparked 10 days ago. The cause remains under investigation. A silver lining, an expected change in weather conditions today may improve the situation. The U.S. Marshals Pacific Northwest Violent Offenders Task Force arrested 26 offenders in eastern Washington in a 2-week warrant sweep called Operation Centennial Trail. With help from more than a dozen agencies, including local sheriff's offices, the operation targeted violent fugitives and repeat offenders with warrants for violent crimes and sex offenses. The goal? To get offenders at risk of committing further crimes off the streets before they could hurt anyone else.
All right, big changes coming today. Good Tuesday morning, everyone. Much cooler, blustery Tuesday. You're already seeing winds kicking up in many of our cities, and scattered thunderstorms are possible. We've had quite a lot of thunder and lightning just to the east of Connell. That has moved on to the north, and we just have little bits and pieces of shower activity forming in the mid-Columbia, then moving up north and really starting to cause havoc up there, but not in our areas just yet. Better chance will be in our afternoon hours, so keep an eye out for just some scattered thunderstorms throughout your day. Temperatures, we are warm this morning. We're in the mid to upper 60s, even 71 in Yakima, so very warm conditions as we move along in our morning. Also a wind advisory from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. today. Kittitas County, northeastern Oregon, 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, gusts up to 55 miles per hour. Our other areas, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. Good news, these winds are coming in from the southwest. That's going to blow much of the smoke out of our areas, and we should improve from our moderate air quality, which all of our areas are kind of stuck in right now. So current wind speeds, we are heavy, especially Ellensburg, Yakima, Toppenish into Prosser. So quite a bit of wind out there. Our highs today, 81. We're about 20 to 15 degrees off of yesterday. 81 for Yakima, 74 for Ellensburg, lower 80s to upper 70s for the Mid-Columbia, and right in the upper 70s to mid-70s for the Blue Mountain region. Folks, similar temperatures tomorrow as cool conditions grip this week. Back to you.
Thanks for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. Your local news is back tonight at 5.